Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are cutting straight through the marketing hype to give you a totally objective, data-driven look at the Suzuki Fronx GLX. The crossover market is literally exploding right now, and it can be incredibly tough to separate the glossy brochures from the actual reality of daily driving. So my goal today is to break down exactly what this vehicle is, what it definitely isn't, and most importantly, whether it deserves a spot in your driveway.
To help you figure that out, we're going to hit 5 quick points. First impressions, where the Fronx genuinely shines, the major red flags you need to know about, who should actually buy it, and finally, the ultimate verdict.
All right, Section 1, First Impressions and the Hype. Let's see why this thing is grabbing so much attention right now, especially in markets like Pakistan where it's making some serious waves.
So, the big question, does the Fronx actually live up to all that hype? I mean, with its aggressive, coupe-style design, it's definitely turning heads. But we really need to know if the actual driving experience matches that sporty vibe, right? Because on the surface, it sure looks the part of a high-end crossover. You know, that muscular stance and sharp LED lighting setup? It honestly makes this the very first Suzuki that feels stylish enough to go toe-to-toe with flashier crossovers from Kia or those newer Chinese brands. It represents a massive, modern aesthetic shift for a brand we usually associate with budget hatchbacks. Moving on to Section 2, where the Fronx shines. Let's talk about where this car actually brings real-world value when you put the rubber to the road. And honestly, where it absolutely excels is right in the middle of the city. This thing is built for the daily commute. It's compact, the steering is super light, and the suspension is surprisingly comfortable. It basically takes all the stress out of heavy stop-and-go traffic. Super easy to park, super easy to maneuver. And stepping inside, Suzuki didn't hold back here. You've got this massive 9-inch infotainment display staring right at you. Plus, a pretty impressive feature list for a GLX variant. Cruise control, push start, paddle shifters, rear AC vents, 6 airbags, a reverse camera, ESP, and even hill hold assist. It's kind of wild how much tech they packed into the cabin to make your commute comfortable. But the perks aren't just inside the car. There's a massive logistical advantage here too. Unlike those imported Japanese crossovers where you might be waiting weeks for a specific spare part, the Fronx taps into Suzuki's massive dealership network. That means way easier maintenance, cheaper parts, and just a lot less long-term ownership stress. But hey, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's hit Section 3, the major red flags. It's time to look at the harsh realities hiding behind that shiny exterior. And this is probably the most critical data point you need to hear, especially if you're a family buyer. The Fronx got a really poor 1-star NCAP safety rating in Australian and New Zealand crash tests. 1 star. This was mostly due to structural concerns and issues with the rear seatbelts. If safety is your absolute #1 priority for your family, this is an objective red flag you just can't ignore. Then there's the performance. Remember those aggressive, sporty looks we just talked about? Well, the reality on the highway is a bit different. The 1.5-liter engine really lacks aggressive acceleration. So, overtaking at high speeds, it feels undeniably weak, especially if you've got a full car of passengers and luggage. Basically, it's a cruiser, not a racer. We also really need to clear the air about that hybrid badge on the back. It's a mild hybrid system. That means it gives you a tiny bump in fuel economy during stop-and-go driving, but there is zero true EV-only driving mode. It just doesn't behave like a full hybrid vehicle, so don't expect to be gliding silently through town on battery power alone. And rounding out the red flags, the build and the cost. We're talking pretty average interior material quality, lots of hard plastics on the dash, and just okay space in the back seats. Throw in some reports of inconsistent build quality, like noticeable panel gaps, and a premium price tag that puts it right up against feature-packed MG and Kia crossovers, well, the overall value proposition starts to look a little questionable. All right, taking all of that data into account, we arrive at Section 4, who should actually buy it?
It all comes down to your specific lifestyle. You should totally buy it if your life is mostly city traffic, you love good fuel economy, and you want that zero stress maintenance. But you should absolutely avoid it if you do tons of highway driving, if you demand punchy acceleration, or if top-tier crash safety is a total non-negotiable for your family.
Let's bring this all home. Section 5, the final verdict. Is it actually worth buying?
Look, owning a Fronx is a total balancing act. On one side of the scale, you've got undeniable strengths, that premium styling, excellent urban fuel economy, and a massive service network. But on the flip side, you have to weigh those against some serious compromises: a 1-star safety rating, a sluggish highway engine, and a relatively high price tag. It's a vehicle of very distinct trade-offs.
The big takeaway here, for most middle-class families just looking for a daily driver, it remains a highly practical choice for the city. It's comfortable, it looks sharp, and it won't drive you crazy at the mechanic. But honestly, because of those compromises we just covered, it isn't necessarily the absolute best value for money SUV out there right now.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought before we wrap up this explainer. Are you willing to trade high-speed performance and top-tier crash safety for premium, modern looks and excellent urban fuel economy? Only you know your daily commute. Weigh the facts we've explored today and make the choice that fits your life. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Keep asking those tough questions, and I'll catch you in the next one.